Happy Halloween, everyone. It's October 31st, 2020, and let's get into the NFT news for today. Let's check in on that Beeple drop. That was a real sad one yesterday, of course, if you saw that episode where I didn't get one of these. Politics is bullshit. Then we got the Crossroads up to 17,290. Crypto is bullshit, is at 13.2. And honestly, the 100 are not far behind. We see here one sold for 1,800, another sold for 2,000. If we check out the stats here, I think, and if we look for that one right here, the average selling price of those that have sold, and look at that percentage increase from $1. Yeah, it's been over $1,200 each. And how many have sold? 151. So in addition to the 151 more must have sold. That's correct. Yes. Wow. And what is this? Last sale was actually for $24.99. Okay, I didn't see that one. That must have just happened now. Okay. Quite a profit from a $1 NFT. That was a great deal. And looking at the broader markets, we got Ethereum at 387. And I think we went up above 390. We got kind of a narrow range here. We'll see what happens. Bitcoin is trying for 14,000. We'll see what happens. It seems to be maybe looking toppy, but you never know. And Sunday is often a pullback, so who knows? Could be going down, but with the election coming up, this probably isn't going to be a normal Sunday. So it'll be interesting to see. Looking at the CoinGecko NFT list here, we see a little bit of a comeback in some of the coins here to correspond with the comeback in Bitcoin and Ethereum as well. Ultra looking very nice, up 5%. Decentraland up 3.8%. Engine 1.4% up. Sand up 2.1%. Looking nice. We got Phantasma up 4.8%. We're going to talk about Phantasma today for Halloween. I'm going to have a little bit of a special episode here. Rarible up 5.8%. Nice. I don't know about the Shroom Finance. I hesitate to recommend anything called shroom.finance, but who knows? It's got to be better than what is it? What do we got down here? Cocaine cowboy shards. Do these people with these shards know that that's a slang term for meth? I don't know. All right. It's pretty much the same thing. Okay, so we're going to talk about Phantasma. And what is Phantasma? Let's click on this right here. Actually, there's two of them. We've got not only the Phantasma Soul token here, but down here we've got the Phantasma Energy token as well. That's kcal. And that looks like it's come down a bit. It's not even 1 cent now. We got it at about 0.88 cents. And looks like everyone thinks that's going to go up, right? It should from there, right? And then we've got Phantasma Soul just under 7 cents. Up a bit. Doing okay. And what is Phantasma? Phantasma is, often I think people think of it as just like a gaming kind of a thing. But really, it is a lot more than that, a lot more. It is basically a platform, right? It is something that you could think of in terms of like an ecosystem, like an Ethereum all by itself, right? But it is interoperable with Ethereum. And I wanted to go through a little bit about Phantasma. I've had some experience with it over the last few months. And I think the first thing I want to start off with that you need to know if you're going to look into Phantasma is the team and who's behind it. And if we go to the website, let's see if we can find that here. It's it's an ecosystem. There's this Phantasma app I'm going to talk about. A lot going on, a lot of partnerships. If we get to the team down here we've got Sergio Flores, senior developer, City of Zion developer, created the Neo debugger and Nacho Man. We've got some real heavy hitters on this team. And Bill here is obviously 20 years of enterprise software. He's worked at Oracle, I believe, and other places. And he's going to be starting actually, I think, a YouTube channel or a video series. Anyway, I'm not sure if that's going to be on YouTube coming soon. And they've got some new people on the team here that are going to be doing more marketing and things like that. So they've got a lot going on and they're expanding. And then they've also got the Phantom Force. We should go down here because I'll be talking to Vincent from the Phantom Force on Monday. I'm sure that's his real picture there. So, both Vincent and Sergio, I don't think they sleep. They do some incredible things. And Vincent is the one who is behind the NFT self-minting that we're so excited about. And he'll be on to talk about that on Monday. And so the team is really amazing. Let's look at Sergio's GitHub right here. Look at all those contributions. And we got the Halloween colors here. So a lot of that is in Phantasma, and some of these new projects they have going on, or private repositories. We don't know what's up because there's a lot going on. I'm going to show you the roadmap. They're coming out with a new roadmap for Phantasma, but if you look at the old one even, it's amazing the amount of things that are very close to being out. And we'll also look at the history and what's been going on and some of the updates that have been made. But let's just get an idea of what Phantasma is. And I just want to say, I think that non-fungible tokens are such a visionary, game-changing thing that anyone who is looking into a blockchain or a project that is, creating something with non-fungible tokens, we immediately think, wow, like this is the be-all, end-all, like this can do anything, and that might be the case. But I do think, and I hope that you'll agree with me, that what Phantasma is in its full vision, if you read the white paper and really look into it, is really nothing less than the full vision of what non-fungible tokens could really be. And that is, to a certain extent, nearly everything that matters, because content is really what matters. And content is, at the heart of the NFT, right? Unlockable content. And I believe Phantasma actually started as sort of a Gmail on the blockchain idea, right? Because emails could be content, right? But I think you very clearly and quickly realize, if you start developing that and you start going down that road, that, what can't you use this for? And so it's become associated with gaming, because I think the speed and the way it's so quick to mint NFTs, and there's a little cost to transfer and everything. And so Phantasma's first applications have been gaming, but I think that's going to change. And that's why this self-minting, it's, you would think that a blockchain that's so centered around NFTs would have had this sooner, but they've really gone, for the cutting edge first to really push the envelope and prove what you can do, creating these incredible game items with all of the, important abilities to do that, in real time in a game that other chains are trying to catch up to, honestly. But then some of the things that the other chains have done, where they've developed certain features that work better with a slower, more expensive blockchain like Ethereum, where you have the art NFTs or the infused NFTs like Engine developed. Those, now Phantasma has to catch up there, I guess, right? And so that is coming very soon, and we'll be talking about that on Monday with Vincent. That is the NFT self-minting, which is not necessarily part of the core blockchain. That is actually itself a dApp and a decentralized application. And so if we look at this chart, I'm a little nervous to put this up because this is a little outdated, and I know that Engine people, you've got Efinity coming, right, which is this blockchain that is going to be like a mainnet, right? Whereas Phantasma launched a mainnet in October of 2019. And so this comparison chart, I think, is from May, right? So I'd be happy to hear from Engine people what you think of this, if you think this is wrong, and I admit it might be out of date now, but let's check this out. So if we look at, Phantasma and Engine, they're both really, offering this gaming NFT thing, right? But NFTs can be used for anything, as we know. They both have a marketplace. Phantasma, I guess, doesn't have an NFT Explorer yet. I think that might be changing. I'm not sure. Again, this is from May, so there might be something on the Phantasma side that has changed as well. And probably the game integration where it says the various languages. I know that they've added some things in Phantasma, various like Python or whatever it is, APIs. Token-backed NFT, I'm not sure if that refers to infusing or wrapping tokens. And the QR airdrop, I'm not sure if that's happening yet. Multi-layer NFT, I'm not even sure what that is. But Okay, so the minting fee, that's something that is definitely still the case. You've got a very low fee on the blockchain for minting an NFT on Phantasma versus Engine. That's, I think something that in and of itself, doesn't necessarily distinguish, a blockchain, because a lot of places it is very, cheap if you go off of Ethereum or whatever, if you want to do these kinds of things. But it is the interoperability, I think, that's going to be key going forward. And we'll talk about that, because that is actually one of the core components or fundamental goals of Phantasma is interoperability. And so I really think when we look at this chart, it almost seems like, that it's kind of an either-or situation. But I don't think we're going toward an either-or future. I think if we look at, let's see, there's another, there's an example of, the kind of, interoperability I'm talking about, right? Cross-platform integration. And that really is the vision that Phantasma has. And I think that is what the future is going to be. If we look at it, it's not going to be this place where you have to choose, is this going to run on Ethereum or is this going to run on that, right? They're going to have to work together, and the ones that don't work together are going to be the ones that are left behind, right? There's some like Ethereum, you're going to have to work with them because they're the big one, right? And so, but once you connect to them, and once NFTs can travel back and forth, and you can wrap tokens or whatever it is, pretty soon, when the developers have a chance to integrate all of this, it starts being seamless to the user, and it doesn't really matter at that point what chain a particular asset might be on at that moment, because you have that asset, and for the user, all you have to do is send it. So if we look here, this is phantasma.info. This is not the official site. It's more of a secondary site. Phantasma blockchain was built from the ground up with one goal in mind: to be a one-stop solution for both blockchain developers and dApp users. Now that is a bold statement, right? A one-stop solution for blockchain developers and dApp users, and it shows you how big this project really is. I mean, the goal is to create an ecosystem, right? Now, if we go through this is a great website, phantasma.info. Definitely put a link to this below. So the Phantasma mainnet was launched in October 2019, and it has the kind of, transactions per second, side chains, and all of these capabilities that Ultra and Engine, are hoping to have. They're basically playing catch up on this issue, and everyone's talking Ultra might have that end of year, and I see that their coin is pumping on the basis of that, while at the same time it's, already available here on Phantasma, those kind of, really high transaction per second counts and that kind of thing. And it is interoperable with Ethereum as well. And staking, you do receive kcal, which is the energy token. You need that to do basically anything on the network. And I believe I can pull up my wallet here. I have one. We can show you how this works. So I've got 1.2 kcal available. I can claim that right here. And then I won't be able to unstake my soul for the next 24 hours. Send the transaction. Nice and fast. There we go. I claimed some kcal. And now I have 4.3 in this wallet. Isn't that wonderful? So that's staking, right? And if you stake 50,000 soul, which is enough to be a soul master, then you get soul, a certain amount every month, in addition to what would work out to be 100 kcal per day. And so I think that's 18% per year, they say. Now, Chain Swap is live over here. We have Sol and kcal that can be swapped from the Phantasma to the Neo or to the Ethereum blockchain. And actually, when purchasing it, this is important. The main net form of Phantasma, so it exists in 3 forms. There's only a set amount, but it exists across 3 chains. And you can't send that mainnet Sol to any exchange currently. You have to swap it either to Neo, and if you buy it from the exchange, you have to swap it from Neo if it's on KuCoin, or if you go with Uniswap, then you have to swap it from Ethereum, and it's, it ends up in the same wallet. Let me pull up that wallet again. If you look up here in the corner, you can see three blockchains. You've got your Phantasma address right here, and I'm just House of NFT at Phantasma, so that means you can just send all of your Sol and kcal to House of NFT, and it will get to me. And then now you have a Neo wallet here, and you have an Ethereum wallet as well, all in one. These are all under the House of NFT wallet here. You can send money to all those. It'll be great. Okay. So 3 different chains. And so, yeah, Uniswap, you swap over to that Ethereum. First, you swap to Ethereum inside your wallet. And then from that Ethereum part of the wallet, you send that to Uniswap, right? And similarly, if you buy from Uniswap, you send it to that Ethereum address. And you need a little bit of Ethereum in there for gas. The kcal is like the gas token for Sol. You need to have kcal in there as well. But as long as you have Sol staked, it'll be generating kcal and you'll never have to worry about it. Obviously, we talked about gaming NFTs. This is huge. Ghost Market is the place for that. Then there's also this Steam bridge to blockchain games through Pavilion Hub. That's really important. And so that's going to be even bigger when, of course, the self-minting is live. And that's, because we're all going to be able to do it then and make our own NFTs on the Phantasma chain. And ultimately, those NFTs will have a lot of features like, being able to swap the NFTs back and forth or bring Ethereum NFTs in. I don't know exactly what features are going to be available when, but we're going to hear about that, aren't we, on Monday, and it's going to be exciting. So we've got oracles, and there's also a link to Aleph as far as that. And, smart contracts, DeFi, all of that can be done. And there's going to be storage on the blockchain. I believe that's coming very soon. I think that's one on the roadmap that's coming. And even the email and the chat and these things are coming up very quickly on that original roadmap. I don't know which exactly are being prioritized at this point or whatever, but it's going to be pretty exciting soon. And if we look at these 2 tokens, the Sol versus the kcal, sometimes people ask, what should I get? Should I get the Sol or the kcal? Well, if you get Sol, you can stake that and you get the kcal for free. But kcal is needed to do basically anything, to mint NFTs or to transfer any Sol or, anything that you want to do like that. And so, kcal is really cheap right now. And if you're going to be creating a bunch of NFTs or airdropping a bunch of stuff or whatever it is, you might want to stock up on that. Otherwise, the Sol and staking that might be the way to go, especially if you're, thinking about this long term. Extremely fast, 5,000 transactions per second, and we're up to 8 programming languages. This is more recent than that May chart that I showed that only had a few there. We've had over 250,000 minted NFTs. That's a huge amount. And we've got the 22 Racing Series game. That's an incredible game. There are real games on this blockchain now. This is not like something that is coming. A lot of these coins are pumping on the news that something is coming. But these are actual games. And I was looking again at the roadmap, and I'll bring that up here in a second. But the 22 Racing Series full launch is coming up soon. Right now it's in beta. Poltergeist Wallet, we've got, I believe 2.0 is coming out. That'll, I think, be the one with the self-minting. Right now we're on 1.9, which is the one that added the Ethereum swaps, which enabled Sol and kcal to be on Uniswap. And there's Ghost Market. That's the place where you can buy and sell NFTs. And once we do the self-minting, they will show up there. And I will have to ask if they are going to show up, if we can get that integrated in places like OpenSea where they have some other types of things involved. I'm not sure. But we're going to have a lot of games, and there's a lot of surprises coming out. Some of these games look incredible. And then there's the Phantasma Mail. That was actually the original app, and a lot of these were things that had been gotten pretty far in development. And then what happened was there was a big upgrade. I think, as painful as this is to relive this history, let's go through the chart here on KuCoin, which is where still I think most of the Sol resides and is traded. So if we let's look at the 1 week view, then we can see the whole story. Okay. So right around the beginning of July and August, there was a lot of hype. There were these videos coming out, right? BitBoy, Hashoshi, talking about Sol as like the big thing, right? And then right around the end of August, people were thinking that the Ethereum swaps were going to launch then, and then there was a delay because during this time when it was coming down, the team was realizing, I think, what a monumental project they had bitten off. And not that they weren't up to it, but they wanted to make sure that they took full advantage of the opportunity to do this because it was such an enormous task. And so they actually had, I think it was 120 separate blockchain upgrades. And that's one thing about this team. Like, exactly what's going on. It might not, always be like, they can predict the future because they're doing cutting edge things that, no one else has done before. And so maybe you aren't going to know exactly on what day it's going to be completed. But they're completely transparent and they tell you exactly what's going on and they communicate very well. They're in the Telegram group. I'll put a link to that below. Actually, there's two of them, one for price chat, which we might be doing now, but I'm telling the history on this chart because I think it's important. So you had this let down here of the hype, I guess, because things were taking too long in a way for the market or whatever, because people were trying to time the market. And then, you always have people who think, oh, here's an opportunity to FUD and try to sell what I have and buy it lower and that kind of a thing. And that's just, been going on. Quite frankly, it happens for every coin. And so you have down here at this point, then things are starting to ramp up. And then the Ethereum is about to launch. The Ethereum swaps are about to launch, and they did all these upgrades. And one of the upgrades they did was that now it's going to be much easier to add more chains in the future. So that's crucial because they didn't want this to happen again. So next time if they want to add, say, I don't know, Komodo or Cardano or whatever it is, I don't know, they're going to add that integration without doing this massive upgrade that's going to affect things for a while. Very exciting. And also, all of those upgrades have enabled all of these dApps that they've been working on in the background. Now they've created this custom blockchain that's going to be, fueling these dApps that are going to be coming up. So we've got this green candle here, and then what happens? What happens right when the Ethereum swaps are going to come out? KuCoin gets hacked. I don't know if you guys remember that, right? But that was very tragic, and I was there in the Telegram group talking about how terrible it was. And slowly then it took time for them to restore things or whatever. And then even then people were very hesitant to just send a bunch of Bitcoin over there, and they took a long time to reopen certain coins. And honestly, I don't think they've even reopened all of them. And then we had, we're starting to get closer to the election, and BTC is starting to be a hedge against the inflation and everything like that and the wild anarchy we're expecting. So we've had this BTC rally, we've had alts dumping, and that's where we are now. And so through no fault of its own, really, we have Sol at what I think is an incredible bargain right now. It last traded at 503. But as you can see right here, there's the sell side, or sorry, the buy side is pretty strong here right up next to this is actually a precarious situation because when you have it sort of top loaded like this, it becomes, I think, an invitation to dump. People will dump a little at the top or whatever because they see how little there is there if they really push their, sell order. You see, this is only like less than a quarter of a Bitcoin, and you've lost, 20% of the value, right? And so for a whale, that's nothing, right? And Sol has been the victim of games like that. I think a lot of people are realizing the potential of this and they want to get more at any cost, but that at any cost, drives down the price. And the thing is this is on KuCoin, which really technically I think a lot of people, like Americans, are not supposed to be trading on or something. I don't think it's a big deal if you buy a few $100s worth of Sol here and there, but they have rules like it's trading over a certain amount and that kind of a thing is not allowed. And so, if you're not someone who lives in a country where you can complete the KYC and all of that, you can't even put a bunch of Bitcoin on there, and after they were hacked, would you really want to just leave a bunch on there? So we're suffering from very low liquidity, especially around the strike price. And but it is really low right now, and so that's why we do see some crowding up around the strike price, I think, from underneath. And hopefully that will go back up because, as you can see, it's also only, look at that, 0.15 Bitcoin. And we're already off the screen there. So that's the history of it. They actually, did way more than we were expecting during that time. and then things were really looking up, and then we had the KuCoin hack that came down. Now we're in this risk off season leading up to the election. But if 2021 truly is the year of the NFT, then Phantasma might be one of the big ones to look at with all of the things that are going on. All right, let's see if we can find that roadmap. I think that's on the main site there. And again, I think this might be the old roadmap. But let's just look at the stuff that's coming up. And I mean, even if it's not in this particular quarter or whatever, and there's differences. Because I know there are some things that are coming out they've talked about that are actually not not even on this. And not only that, let's go through this first, because like this team has delivered, right? A lot of places they'll talk about these things that are coming and they don't ever happen, but they do happen in this case. And when you have a project as ambitious as this, something that, like if you thought of Neo as the next Ethereum, then this might even be like the next Neo, right? Like the next evolution even beyond that. So launching the mainnet in Q3 2019, they did it. Cosmic swap framework in place. The actual cosmic swaps are going to happen soon. That's going to be huge. Phantasma Neo interoperability, Q3. The Phantasma Explorer, that's out. Use it all the time. Poltergeist, that's the wallet I just showed you. That's the great one that you want to use. Swap really easily. 22 series. Pavilion Hub. Phantasma Ethereum interoperability. They've done that. And now look at this. 22 Racing Series full launch. That is not quite here, I don't think. But coming soon. Phantasma Storage, that's coming soon. Look at that says Q3. Q3 Phantasma Mail, Q3 or 4 Phantasma Chat. So we're still in 2020 here on this old roadmap with manual cosmic swaps and even Phantasma app. Now the Phantasma app, I haven't talked about that yet. This is what I call the Google of dApps. This is going to be a dApp browser. And Phantasma that is the dream of Phantasma, is to be a place where dApps from all blockchains will not only run, but can be found, can be searched. So this will allow dApps from all blockchains to run and exist in one ecosystem. New dApps and games. Now, there's going to be a lot of these. There's some word of, I think it's a game called Catacomb that's going to be coming out. Lots more coming out. And I do think that that's the future. So what's next for Phantasma? The self-minting, of course, we're going to be talking about that on Monday. Marketing. They're redoing their entire marketing effort. I believe hiring multiple people who are going to take over on this. And that's going to be huge because we all know marketing is so important. And these guys are so focused on development. And it's been a small team, I want to say it's like a David and Goliath, but that implies that it's a battle. And again, I don't want to use those metaphors because I think that the entire NFT sector could very well flourish together and be interoperable and, have everything come together. And the ones that work together, I think, are going to be the ones that survive. So let's not look at it as a battle. They've got the updated roadmap coming. They've got videos coming. But I think their main focus is dApps. That is what we are going to be seeing, is more and more dApps going forward. I'm sure I said something that was wrong somewhere in there. I don't know. I apologize if I made some mistakes. This is all just off the top of my head. I'd love to hear from you what you think of Phantasma, and also tell me what coins you want me to cover, right? I'd love to hear what you're interested in as far as NFTs and where you think I should be looking. I really appreciate it. Leave a comment, like, subscribe, and I'll be back tomorrow.